Okay, welcome everyone for the weekly English medium discussion. And it's an accident for me to be here today because my program was not so confirmed till yesterday. But due to some of the other, it happened me to make the mind and come here. So came 12 o'clock midnight. It was a ad hoc kind of a decision. But I am happy to be here. So we are going to start as usual with our traditional appointed topic, Atthadanda Sutta. So before going to that, if anyone is having any comments or topics or interview reports, I would like to take few minutes at the beginning.
Avasara Bhante, we didn't receive any report this side. Present.
So, if there are no any comments means, we can directly go into Atthadanda Sutta. I would like to invite Venerable Buddha Rakkita Thero to start the point where we stopped last time.
So we'll just continue on to the next verse. One who does not claim as mine anything at all here in name and form, who does not sorrow over what is non-existent, truly does not lose out in the world. One for whom nothing is taken as this is mine or this belongs to others, not finding anything to be taken as mine, does not sorrow thinking it is not mine. So here the Buddha is moving really into very, deep water. I mean, it's kind of astonishing that there's a battle being lined up on both sides of the river, and his family are about to, kill each other, and he's telling them this kind of teaching. But sometimes, having read, poetry and having read stuff written by people on the front lines of battles and wars, they can be thinking quite deeply about things. So, and how the forces of the world are working. So here the Buddha is pointing to this process of anatta, and this is perhaps, I think that the teaching that distinguishes Buddhism more than anything else from any other teaching or philosophy in the world or any other religion. All other religions have an emphasis that there's a God, and then you're sort of a little fragment of the big God, and your journey is to join yourself back. The little me has to join back to the big God. And here the Buddha completely refutes this kind of an idea. One who does not claim as mine. One who does not claim as mine. You see, all other philosophies are natural inclinations of people, whatever people they are. I've traveled widely in the world, and I've seen and experienced many different kinds of religions and philosophies and beliefs. And even in this present time where we have so much, excellence in education and travel and so forth, and communications, yet you will not really find anybody telling you that you should not claim to be a mine. Anything at all here as name and form. Because it seems these days, in fact, it's the other way around. It's even gotten more and more hard. That there is only an I. And I exist in this life, and I should make the most of this life because there is no past life and there is no future life. And the only life is this life, and the best that I can do in this life is heaven. So it's become very, very materialistic and very nihilistic. And we harden every decade more and more onto this claim that there is a mine. And we have gone from nuclear family to nuclear person. Nuclear person. No, that doesn't exist either. That's not a problem, because we can blow up the world and mine is okay. As long as mine world is okay, we can have a nuclear war. It doesn't matter. It's indifferent. It doesn't matter. This kind of nihilistic, self-centered thing. So nuclear war doesn't exist because mine. As long as mine is not affected, it's not a problem. And literally, I've heard that recently. That it's. So what if they've got nukes? It doesn't matter. Mine will be okay. Mine is okay. Yeah, the Americans definitely hold that view. So anything at all here is name and form. Who does not sorrow over what is non-existent? So here the Buddha has really, again, as setting up these wonderful inquiries. I think that's one of the reasons that I like, this really suits my mind very much. To sit with that question. Why does one sorrow over what is non-existent? Why am I crying? Because I think I have a mine. Me. All of my problems in the world have been because of me. I'm sorrowing over something that doesn't exist according to the Buddha. Where is me? So these days we have X-rays and we have fMRI and we do all these amazing studies. And now all of the really cool people will tell you it's the brain. The brain is me. And yet when we scan the brain and do all these other things, we can't find me. So it used to be up to the 1950s that me was the heart. The heart, but then you could do a heart transplant, so obviously it can't be the heart. Now it's the brain. But I think as we go forward and we start to do more brain surgery and, implants and synthetic implants and all this kind of thing, we're going to whittle away at what exactly is me in the brain too. So I wouldn't bet on that mine. The seat of mine is going to be in the brain. So maybe in 100 years' time, we will have that kind of deep knowledge medically, just as the heart is not mine either. So who does not sorrow over what is non-existent? Truly does not lose out in the world. So that's our challenge, really, to not sorrow over what is non-existent. And that we see everything as a process, and it's arising because of causes and conditions. It's not arising because me, the little mini me, the inner me, can't control the world. I get what I have in the world because of causes and conditions. It's not because of mini me is able to pull the strings and the levers and has this controllability. It's not like that at all. So this idea of in sport, they have this idea that you should, play the ball, not the player. You should fair play is to play the ball, not the player. Foul play is to play the player, not the ball. You instead of using your sportsmanship to play the game, you foul the player. That's the meaning of this expression, to play the player, not the ball. So we tackle the wrong thing, mostly. We blame ourselves for our successes and our failures, when in fact it's just causes and conditions. And the real question is, can I see that? Can I focus on the process? Can I focus on the ball instead of the player? That there's an idea that there is even a player. Can I change my behaviors rather than changing me? I don't change me. I change these behaviors. I change this process. So the Buddha continues this in the next verse with one, for whom nothing is taken as this is mine or this belongs to others, not finding anything to be taken as mine, does not sorrow, thinking it is not mine. So again, these words, we need to kind of play them back and forth in our head. These expressions, this is mine, this belongs to others. This is not mine, shall we say. Not me, not mine, not self, not I is what the Buddha is saying is the real truth. Not me, not mine, not self, not I. Rather than this is mine or that is not mine. These are kind of crazy expressions. We say them all the time. And I remember U Pandita Sayadaw used to say from here. Instead of saying this is mine, he would say from here. It was quite strange. And I also had the experience of meeting another monk who would refute any discussion of I or you or they. Like he would say, where is I and where is you and where is they? So these days we put a lot of emphasis on pronouns, getting somebody's pronouns correct. But there are no pronouns. I think the Chinese are correct to not use any pronouns at all in their language, right? It's no pronoun. Whereas in other languages we have this very strange idea that there is a pronoun, there is a person, there is a he and a she and maybe there's a process of he and she, but there is actually no he or she, right? And so this is mine, this belongs to others, this crazy talk, and not finding anything to be taken as mine. So when we look into it very, very carefully and rigorously, we will find that there is no this is mine and this belongs to others. So it's a process. And anything that is happening is arising because of causes and conditions. So this is my quick interpretation of anatta, but I'd be very happy to hear what Maha Thero has to say about the Sinhalese, the Pali, and life in general on this very deep topic.
Thank you. The 954. Go to my numbering. 954. Sabbaso nama rupasmin yasanati mamaitang. Asatacha sotachi sa veloke na jiyati. If enlightened being, it's according to the interpretation, if there is no name and the form, and upon which he is not creating desire, creating views, and creating I. He who do not claim I will not sorrow, no suffering, he will never deteriorate. That's the first version. Second thing is, Yasanati idang meti paresangvapi kinchanang mamattang so asangvindang natti meti na sojati. Accordingly, the second verse going parallel, for an enlightened being, if someone is not claiming this is mine, oh, I am not telling, he is not telling this is not mine, me and not me, and he is having no any proliferation, this is something to be desired, something to be hated, because he is not claiming me and not me, he won't get the desire as well as the view, wrong view. He will never suffer, he will never regret telling that I lost it. There is nothing to lost. So this is the almost parallel with the Venerables expression. So when you are giving the interpretation, it came to my mind, two suttas are the parallel, Kasaka Sutta. So I like it when I was even in Nilambe. Kasaka Sutta is one day the Buddha is giving a talk, something related to me, not mine, not myself. And the monks are really listening. They were very attractive, even absorbed. And then the Mara, the evil one, so if I am to give this attentive listening, one or two may understand and jump away from my regime, jump away from my jurisdiction. So he come here just like a farmer directly coming from the field and having a stick here and muddy food and coming and with thud, asking the Buddha directly without excusing, oh Venerable, did you see my buffaloes? Usually we are using 2 buffaloes for harrowing, and in the daytime when the farmer is taking the Lunch, let them go to the forest and eat, grazing. And evening after little nap, you again put them into and yoke together and do harrowing. So it's a hard job. So this person is coming like that. Then the Buddha came to know he is not the farmer, he is the evil one. He says, "Oh evil one, what is the use of buffaloes for you?" Then Mara came to know that Buddha recognized through his all the camouflage. Then he says, Yang Vadanti, he says, "Okay, monk, you recognize me, but your eye is mine, what you see is mine, and understanding the consciousness, seeing that I see the blue, green, square, round, also mine. The ear is mine, sound is mine, and understanding is a female voice, male voice coming and going is mine. Nose, smell, and the understanding of the nose consciousness. Tongue, taste, and the tongue consciousness. And the body, tactile, sensations and the consciousness. And the mind, everything coming to the mind in the proliferation, and the mind consciousness is mine. There is no way you can escape from me. So we can understand, even the yogis, even you do meditation and you go away with the breath and you are utterly lost rupa, formations. And then you completely lost the good or bad feelings. And you completely lost whether in breath or out breath, you can't nominate, you can't note it, gone. And you are never doing anything volitionally. You say, yes, it's something is not there. I am not moved. I am not decisive. I am not judgmental. Okay. But still he says, still the mind is mine. That knowing that I am a very successful yogi, I go away from the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, but still he himself is happy. There is lack of friction, lack of the tension, and no boundaries. And no, there is no ego like. Still the 100% ego is there. That is what he come and challenge. Then I can't remember by heart. He says, Yang vadanti, so idanti, ye vadanti, natang aham. If someone is telling this is me, I am not that type. If someone says this is mine, I am not that type. I am not claiming like that. If someone is claiming like that, you go and talk this one. You can't see my path just like a bird crossing over the sky. There are no reminder. Once the bird gone, there is no line. There is no, when the ship is gone, sea is not making any line. So likewise you can't. And Buddha never claimed my disciples. He says, I am not telling me, I am not telling mine, I am not telling myself, therefore telling me is useless. There's a meaning for the people, those who are claiming me, mine and myself. You please go and tell them. And mind you, you can't see the path that I have tread past. And that was so striking. So that is how I just remember the first stanza. That is not grammatically correct maybe. You better read it, Sangyutta Nikaya, Kassaka Sangyutte. No, Mara Sangyutte. And the Mara is coming in different forms. So this is one thing. It says if someone is telling the eye is mine, my eyes need no any glasses, I can see directly, good eye, good looking. And I see good pictures, we have good omen and auspicious thing. And I am happy. Oh, someone says my eyes are very bad and cataract and all the problems. And what I see is very unauspicious and I am so unhappy. So whatever it may be, Maha says, they are in my jurisdiction. Buddha says, I am not claiming my eye as me, or what the seen as me, and the happiness or sorrow, me, mine and myself. Therefore, you are telling this, the thread, useless. You better go and talk with the people, those who are claiming eye is mine, visual objects are mine, and visual consciousness is mine. So then he disappeared. That is, I leave it as a homework. You can read it and you can get this thing, Kasaka Sangyutta, in the Mara Sangyutta, Kasaka Sutta. Second one is Malunki Putta Sutta. I have given 2-3 talks. The old monk come to the Buddha and says, Bhante, I have enough. Enough is enough. I have to go to the forest and do some meditation. Give me a instruction. Give me a kamatahan. Kamatahan means meditation instruction. Then the Buddha says, you bloody old fellow, I have given everything, but now you come and ask your own personal instruction. What the hell that I have already given? Likewise, at the beginning, he knocked him down and discourage him. And then he says, okay, Malunki Buddha, imagine a visual object you have never seen. Now you are not seeing also. You are not going to look at it. And you are not going to look in future also. Under such circumstances, there may be any inclination or defilement or perversion in your mind related to the visual object. He says no. Imagine a sound which can, in audible range, you have not heard, you are not hearing, you are not going to hear, even in future. Under such circumstances, such a noise can make mind defile. Raga, dosa. No. He is asking 6 doors. And Mahasi Sayadaw says, with that he deduces, if at all mind is defiling, it is because of the present moment seeing, not the past, not the future, not about to see. Hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So therefore your defilement is here and now. It is not the past. It is not the past regret or it is not the excitement about the future. They are all mental proliferation. So therefore, if you know you are seeing, it's a great pleasure because no defilement from hearing, no defilement from smelling, no defilement from taste, no defilement touch, no defilement from the mind. So you know you are here seeing, so therefore all the other 5 channels are locked. So it's a rule. It's a thumb rule. It's an underlying thing if you are seeing. And therefore note it as seeing. You have to understand that seeing is defiling your mind. But that is a quantifiable defilement. You know it is because of the 2 shapes and the colors. Nothing else. But you are endowed, you are lucky. No sound related, no smell related, no taste related, no touch related, no mind related. So therefore you are happy idiot. Know that you are seeing. And look at it. When you see longer time, whatever you see becoming less and less dramatic, less and less attractive. That is called nibbida. That itself becomes dull and bored and monotonous. So they are also reducing, and that is the point you have to keep on attentive. Your defilement is with seeing. I am taking the seeing an example, but if you look at it longer time, that's a universal law. That is, you attractive to the visual object disappears. Its margins are blurring, and it's dull. It's become bored. It becomes sleepy. It becomes threatening. That is because your self is threatening. Self found only the seeing as the pinning point, but that is also disappearing. So when that happens, you can say, thanks to seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thoughts are not there. But if you keep on looking at the same object, that itself is becoming tapering off, fading off, dull, boring, monotonous, no boundaries. And I saw in the meditative world, everyone accept it, everyone experienced it. But they do not know how to make use it in a sequential order. So therefore daily they have to have interviews. Because they are seeing and then change into the hearing and then change into the smelling. So each time you change the object, you are asking another new set of ammunition. You have to keep on one thing. And the Buddha recommended breath. Breath is touch. It is naturally not attractive, not distractive. And walking, the earth element, that's also we are doing normally. And without you, it can happen. I mean, effortless walking, effortless breathing. When that happens, thanks to the breath, all the other defilements are closed. All the other channels are closed. But breath also now slowly disappearing. So you are done away with all the defilements. Except the seeds in your brain, seeds in your mind, carrying from the past life, or your habituation, or the conditioning. That separate issue. First and foremost, you have to keep the stream of consciousness free of the just arising thing, and in the present moment, what are the away from the primary object. First you tackle with the primary object, and away from the primary object, then easily you can see when the sounds are there, you can be aware of the breath, you can be aware of the walking, and the sounds is not distracting. So that present moment awareness is cutting off 50% of the defilements. Then you have to have the maturity. Still my past karmic forces, directed dispositions and underlying tendencies can come. You don't attribute to someone. You don't attribute even to you. Because of the areas past. You have to give the premium. Give it. That is what you call monkhood. That's what you call permanent meditation or full-time meditation. And there you have to have your livelihood, not to create new thing, but don't worry about the past thing, fruition, in the flowering, be aware. That is there you have to be very patient. And therefore, not that you are away from defilements or pain and the pleasure, but it is a kind of a paying the premium for the past loans. That is how you get slowly uplifted, slowly purified. So this is somewhat given in a gross. He is not claiming the liking and disliking. But there it says, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, 6 channels. Each and every place you have liking and disliking. But if you let one culprit to come in, all the other will be chopped off. That's a blessing. That's a inferential knowledge. That's a deductive knowledge. And even if you are not meditating, that is true. But in meditation, you can understand, the day you understand the mechanism, the day you understand how it happened in a sequential way, your expression, your interpretation about you and others happening, not a psychiatric situation. You think things can happen, but people attribute it to it is due to him. It is due to him. And then entanglement. Then storytelling. There is no second person. So we have to give the answer the Buddha has given to the Mara, the evil one. Yo vadanti, mama idanti, yang vadanti, natang ahang. If someone is telling me, I am not such a person. If someone is telling this is mine, I am not such a person. If someone is telling me and mine, please go and talk with him. You can't put a prick, you can't put a hook, because I am not claiming. I call it disclaimer or disavow. People can come and phrase you, people can come and, blame you, but if you accept only, he can go on fabrication. If he is not accepting, just says you are telling maybe. Why you are telling maybe? You have to say yes and no. I am sorry, I can't say. I am not saying yes and no. I am saying why you are telling. You keep on. Finished. No courts, no doctors, no hospitals, no insurance corporation, no government, no local government bodies. Then and there answer is there. But for that you must have your insight meditation, inferential knowledge, theory understanding, and fair enough amount of choiceless awareness. Whatever it happen, yes, it is accepted. Not just mere accepting with the callous mind, but to the theoretical understanding, that's very easy. We can see they can't run, they are not sustainable. But if you have, your rest of the life is kind of finding a good proper livelihood. And the Buddha says that any livelihood is a robbing, begging is the best thing. Anything you are doing is robbing. It's a supply and demand theory. You do because it is profitable, that means you are a robber. But if you are a beggar, it depends on the others. Live whatever the place given. And Venerable Sariputra says, if the two knees are not getting wet, that's enough. Don't claim anything. And whatever the rag robe thrown away, you can take it. No one can blame you. And even the Buddha having the whole three-story mansion, he left it and went to depending upon the begging bowl, depending on the rag robe, and sitting under the trees, and using his own urine, and that is the only medicine Buddha recommended. So then you are a Chakkavati. Chakkavati means world-turning monarch. You are you are omnipresent, omnipotent God. Because no one can come and stir you. No one can come and praise you. Yes, you are correct. Yes, I am happy. Are you happy? Yes, I am happy. Are you unhappy? No, yes, I am unhappy. That's how the first sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya, a god came to the Buddha and asked, are you happy, monk? For what gain, darling? Are you sorrow? So what lost? Then he is asking, you are not happy or unhappy? It fairly explains the situation. Then he says, after aeons of time, it's the first time I see a human not claiming happy or unhappy. So today whole world is pleasure principle. Even the animals. So people behind the pleasure principles are animals. That's called reptilians. That's called Illuminati. That's called conspiracy theorists. They try to do it as a theory. Moment they made the theory, that is also finished. But that gave me, as a person, lot of information how to look at the problem rather than answering. So therefore, meditators are the biggest jokers on the earth. They know it, definitely know, yet to be realized. So they are trying their best. I mean, no one is against what is the teaching of the Buddha, but they have not realized. So we are happy to make a jokers, be jokers. Yes, I do. I have disorganization. I have the unsystematic way. I am ready for chaotic situation. I am ready for the systematic linear system also. Both are wrong. So this is, I would have been too much by quoting the Kassaka Sutta as well as Malunkyaputta Sutta. They are giving in detail, in a lucid way, in a liquid form, you can understand how to live a life in such a complicated society. Our parents are completely misleading us. Our teachers are completely misleading us. Our religious masters are completely misleading. I mean, they are not misleading because they are misled. It doesn't matter. It's never too late, because mindfulness is recognized as choiceless awareness. This is another version of the choiceless awareness. That's all I have to share. Thank you for the invitation. Yes?
Thank you, Swaminatha. Thank you, Bhante. Very good, amazing teachings. And as both of Swaminatha and Bhante are saying, that it's very profound, and it seems, well, I guess when I was reading the commentaries, the sutta is almost coming to an end, and the teachings are very profound and leading to arahantship, so that where, I guess from what I understand is the self, our claiming a self is the most difficult thing to let go of. And Swaminatha is saying that if we feel like there's nothing left that we're claiming as I, when we're meditating, if we're experiencing things and noticing that there is no self that seems to be there, or that things are very subtle and we're just experiencing phenomena, that still there is an I that's feeling good about this and claiming this. So even still we're claiming there's the seeds of an I that are still present. So in these verses it's saying, one who does not claim as mine anything at all here in name and form, who does not sorrow over what is non-existent, because what is non-existent truly does not lose out in the world. One for whom nothing is taken as this is mine or this belongs to others, not finding anything to be taken as mine, does not sorrow thinking it is not mine. And there's, for one who is not claiming a mine, as Swaminatha was saying with the sutta about Mara coming, and that the Buddha is not claiming anything as mine. I find Ken Wilber's explanation of no boundary as being helpful for me to kind of have some idea of what this means, is that there's no boundary between me and the outside world. Me and not me, yes. That there's no separation, so there's nothing that can be claimed as mine, because the seeing and the consciousness of seeing are one. There's, I think, is one way you could say it. There's not two. There's just one, just seeing. I just, for me, I find it's in my meditation, in mindfulness that is experienced when I meditate, that there's a place of not seeing it becomes more purified to where there's not a self that's arising and being disturbed or being attracted. It just seems like the experience and the experience and what is experienced is much closer to being the same. And yet still I can notice that there's something that is observing this. And the experience is just, in meditation we can get a lot closer to this sort of experience of oneness. Whereas in the world we're continually grasping and feeling aversion and feeling discomfort and feeling desire, whereas in meditation we can get closer to an experience of a lack of a self or a duality between me and the outside world that I'm either pushing away or clinging to. So in our normal, and that's where also it's helpful if I could ask Swaminatha, I would be interested right now is about how daily practices, if we do daily practices, we reports, we can experience more of who we can glimpse ourselves in that clinging mode of me and the outside world. Whereas, if we're reporting just a normal sitting report, we may be closer to oneness, or walking, we may be closer to just experience, the experiencer and the experienced being one. We're finding a more pure state. But in daily practices, Swaminatha, we actually are closer to the defiled mind and the me, not me world. And how can we do that?
That's evolution in the reporting. At the beginning, you report the shape and then the manner, and then you report the natural characteristic. Natural characteristic in Pali we call bhava, swabhava, gati. That means it's a nature. It's an expanding nature, it's a contracting nature. It's a heat nature, it's a warm nature. It's an adhesive nature, it is a fluidity nature. It's a hardness and softness. It is not my hardness, my teeth, my nose, nothing. So at the beginning you talk it related to your body. I feel the pain in the back. But later you say, I have a unpleasant feeling. You don't know whether in or out. So that reporting system comes to the bhava lakshana, gati, sabhava. That is abstract understanding, abstract writing system. And you are not claiming as the first person or third person. That system is somewhat close to the Reader's Digest English. Somewhat limited to the Wall Street magazine English. So that is something new for me. Because in our Sri Lankan language, we always claim, I feel heat, I feel bad, I feel cold, kind of thing. Pandita Sayadaw says, as far as you are relating to your body, you are still a child. Childish. You have to say a pain. I experience a pain, or pleasurable, painful, no harm. But don't claim as my leg pain, teeth, and then only the specialist doctor happens. Because the pain is in tooth, dentist. If it's here, ENT surgeon. If it's in the somewhere, someone. So doctors come aligned with, soon you relate to the body. And the hospitals are there, medicines are there, system of testing there. But if you say a pain, doctor also has the pain. Isn't it? How can he come as a doctor? If I say a pain, who the hell can treat? Because he is having another pain. A dentist may not have a pain in the tooth, but he is full of pain. So he disqualifies himself. I am telling I have a hardness. I feel a hardness. I feel heat. I feel cold. Not related to this part and kind. We are not telling it's a vata, pitta, sema. No. I feel that feeling, I am not claiming in or out, not me and not me, me or not me. That we are fairly Pandita side to try to communicate it. But when it is coming to the translator, lost. The translator is not that much of, they are experienced 10 years, 15 years. Sayadaw says, bhava lakshana, gati, sabhava, natural characteristics. It's not yours. Natural character is the only thing leading to flux, leading to impermanent nature. If you say my teeth, you are claiming teeth must not have any pain. It must be permanent. It must be white color. And it's a auspicious. Pain is something different. It's a mistake of the dentist. No, teeth is a pain. Teeth is a pain. 32 pains. So if you claim it, doctors, they can't claim they are doctors. They have the same pain. I'm associating so much of doctors, they are suffering like hell. Because everyone claiming uncomfortable, he has to worry. Ultimately he is writing a bill, it's a separate issue. But I told they are mercenaries. Recently, Venerable Dhammika started the forum, Vijja Vatapada. What are the ethical rules of a doctor? The Buddha is the only one, first and foremost, fixed the profession of the medicine as the jivaka. As he claimed, earlier there were, but there's not well institutionalized. But he never claimed taking money. So when in the discussion, they were talking, when we are doing artificial insemination or test tube babies, they are making many babies, only one select and others has to kill. Is that a killing of a life or is it just a physical process? And when the euthanasia happens, the dying and reborn in the next life, they are going to claim this is what it's happened kind. Then I told nonsense. This is a subject of the Buddha. How a doctor can say? Because you all are taking money. The top class doctors appeared in the forum. At last only I got 3 minutes. I told I don't respect doctors. They are taking money. They are taking money. They make it, it's good, otherwise everyone can't claim it. So taking money, no harm. But it's a mercenary. One doctor has taken a big loan. And the other doctors, he says, what about my loan? He says, nowadays people born get sick. So I can't earn money, I can't pay you back. Can you make people sick? Then I get enough money, I get enough consultation, then I will pay back. So this is how that every village we have the Kovila. Kovila means the believing the gods, different gods. And they are rituals. If the people are not in trouble, they won't get enough money. They ask the God to please give troubles. What the hell you are doing? You are idling. You go and give tsunami. Go and give that corona. And then they get enough money. So whole business world, whole money-making business is making money out of suffering. I may be little too harsh. Abhidhamma means playing with suffering. Commentators means they are playing with suffering. They are not going to get out of suffering. They are asking us, please read this, say the Abhidhamma. This is the commentary. We are people living in suffering. We are living in the monk's life. Who the hell to come and tell this is to do and this is not to do? Anyone can suggest. But we are not to follow blindly, because we are real army. We are in water. We are nothing to learn swimming, otherwise we have to die. Who the hell can come and teach us swimming while in the dry land? So that's why the Buddha says, don't claim doctors. Don't claim lawyers. Don't claim bankers. Don't claim media people. Don't claim pharmaceutical. There are 6 detrimental trends, and they are the bloody fellows changing the governments. They are not concerned about our government, because our government is nothing. So this is what happened. So when you become here, now I am, you are omnipotent, omnipotent God. Whatever you are telling, it doesn't matter. I disclaim. I am not negating. I keep it only as a suggestion. I am not seconding. I says, please give me little time for seconding. If you say, no Bhante, you have to give seconding, it is not a suggestion, it's a punishment. If you are telling me I am giving a suggestion, please second it, then I says, okay, you can claim a suggestion. You can do a suggestion, please give me 1 or 2 days, few minutes. No, you have to give now. It is not a suggestion. It's a punishment. Don't come and play with me. I am not such. That is why when I renounce a life, I told no one can make agenda for me. Anyone's agenda, I have 1001 proposals. But I select Yutu Haki Ruchi. Yutu means first and foremost do's and don'ts. Must and must not I consider. And then, is it within my capacity? Haki. I do whatever I favor it. That's Upandita Sayadaw's method. How to select the projects. Yutu, Haki, Ruchi. First and think about the should and should not. Then I say, I'm sorry, I'm a monk, I can't take this. Second thing is, which is not my capacity, I don't have resources. And within that I have so much of projects. I do most happy thing. Ruchi. Then 100% successful, because I am doing it as a hobby. I don't expect the results. I have my ammunition and my tools. I do. Recently I claim I have almost all the tools. But I have never made any finished product. For 35 years, no finished product. Everything is half done. Anyone can see it. Everything in a mess. If someone is put into order, next day I find my tools are missing. They are not in the proper place. Because my way is that by arm stretch everything is there. Food, the tools, and all the trash away things, raw materials, yogis, interviews, everything. So I feel quite homely. I just disclaim. So therefore, the disclaimer is a kind of a thing only a monk can do, because we are beggars. We are not depending on someone's property. We're not beggars. We are beggars. Pindapata. We are beggars. Mendicant, yes.
Mendicant,
you can give some other names.
Mendicant. A beggar is a thief. We're not thieving.
No.
It's given with permission.
Beggar can live in the outside.
It's given with permission.
Thief can't live. Thief can't live in the light. Beggar can live in the light.
No, so it's not begging.
We are beggars.
And
arm bowls,
then look,
begging bowls.
This is a question of English, that's all. Like, you're misusing a word.
You are Irish. Remember, you are not English.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
am asking everything from the English people, and they say yes.
One of our curses on the English people is that we have more Nobel laureates in English than they have. So that's our genius, is that we insult them in their own language. That is Nobel
Prize. I am talking about the language.
So as colonial, as people of the colonies, Sri Lankans and Irish, we can have these debates about the meaning of these English words, and that's what it's funny in a way. But
there is no meaning for the words.
Beggar doesn't catch the life of what it is to be somebody free from home and free from the normal duties and obligations. So our life is a holy life, and it is a blameless life.
The Bahya Sutta is a beggar, and he came like a beggar.
A beggar is not somebody who is following and pursuing the spiritual life.
A beggar can do the following or not. You can't say beggar is not following. Many beggars are, yes, you are correct.
So it's not a small point.
Yeah.
It's a misallocation. That's all. It's not to the point. It's not clear. It's not focused. It's ambiguous, and it's a misuse of the word. Right. So we're mendicants.
Not misusing. I am telling many monks, Sri Lankan monks, go outside. They are saying we can't claim this is a begging bowl. We are not beggars.
Yeah.
Then I told I am coming out from the monastery. I am a beggar. This is a begging bowl. The Pindapati is called alms rounds.
Alms.
And if you like, you can say, I am going on begging. And that is why it is banned in Singapore and in America. Beggars are banned. But homeless people, yes. So you are using the homeless. So these are the terms, they are punning. Just pun. Words, don't mess up and mixed up with these things. People have their own meanings for the words. That's why the Buddha says, if you say me, I am not telling, you go and talk with such people, they are killing me, claiming me, mine. The Buddha is not telling not to claim me and not to claim mine. Ask the Mara, go and deal with them. I am not claiming. Buddha never talk in plural.
Why are you talking so much? You're begging our time.
Yeah. So you are the one hooking against the begging.
I'm asking you just to think about it. And,
I will think. I will definitely think.
Distinguish the difference between a mendicant and a beggar. That's all. Because in the common parlance, a beggar is not somebody pursuing the holy life. That they're a person who, for whatever reason, is dependent on other people. We're not dependent. We're interdependent. It's a completely different game.
We are not independent also.
Yeah, we're not independent. We're not dependent. We're interdependent.
Yeah, these words I appreciate. I am learning.
The highest spiritual acumen. So that's all. We need to keep our sense of value in what we do.
No, I am claiming beggars can be enlightened. Beggar can be a mendicant.
Look, a criminal can be enlightened.
Yes.
A general can be enlightened.
Yeah.
This is nothing to do with the meaning of the word beggar and mendicant. That's all.
That is the meaning of your word. For my vocabulary, I take a monk is a beggar. He's going on begging.
I'm just asking you to reflect upon the meaning of the word mendicant.
It's a suggestion. I am not concluding.
Beggar.
I am telling that's the way I am using. So it may be offend you or it's not parallel with you.
It doesn't offend me, but it merely clouds the understanding for others.
You may be clouded. Many people are there. They are not clouded. Make people humble. Making people humble, begging. Buddha is begging from this side, the Ananda Situ is begging from the other side. Both the beggars are meeting in front of his previous life mansion.
What happens if he doesn't receive?
If he doesn't?
Is that a failure?
Who?
As a beggar.
Yeah, Buddha also had the failure.
If the Buddha doesn't receive.
Yeah,
no,
Buddha
he didn't. He said, I'm a feeder of joy. That was in this situation you're talking about. He said, I'm a feeder of joy. So if I don't receive something in my bowl, I always remember that I'm a feeder of joy, because I'm not out here to depend on other people, and my victory is whether somebody puts something in the alms bowl or not.
No, read Bahya Sutta. He just go and Buddha is teaching. He thought it's a place of serving something. He got nothing.
Yeah.
We got enlightened. And he the only got enlightened. All the other prepared people, no one. Then Buddha says, when he was coming, a Dalida is having nothing. When you go, he is Adalida, he's got noble treasure. Yeah. When he's coming, he was Dalida, means beggar. He has nothing, no noble things. But he came, got nothing from the people's point of view, but the Buddha claimed he was killed by a cow and gone to the heaven as an enlightened being. He was a rash all over the place, and he was begging. But he is the only one got the Dhamma, because others claim they are not beggars, but they won't get it. Beggar is that he is ready to accept, ready to receive. That is very humble. I claim I am the richest person, but I am a beggar.
You're applying a meaning to beggar that it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
you know,
in your vocabulary.
It's like saying black is white, and then you have a big argument about why white is black.
No, black and white is equal. I am telling. I am not saying black and white. I am telling black and white is equal.
Beggar has another word. That's another
I beg
meaning.
your pardon, sir.
Why don't you focus on?
I beg your pardon, sir. I beg.
Yeah, again. Even in this case, to beg, you're asking, you're trying to take my pardon.
Yeah.
This is a theft.
Yeah.
This
so
is a theft.
you are the person.
Well, why be so? Why thieve my patience?
I will thieve. I am a master.
Why not?
I am a master.
You know, I beg your permission. Oh,
I beg your pardon, sir.
I've already stole your goods, but I'm asking for the permission afterwards.
Oliver Twist is telling.
Right. Is asking for forgiveness. Why don't you be correct about it? You're not begging for permission. You're asking for forgiveness for the theft.
Charles Dickens is telling, go to the judge, and he says, I beg your pardon. So I don't know. I asked the teacher. He says, begging the pardon. Both the words are coining and give a complete different dimension. Yeah. But I have never been to a court. I beg your pardon, sir. If you are telling something I can't understand, I beg your pardon, sir. That means please repeat. I beg. It's not indecent. It is not theft. No, don't. I am not English, but I am fighting always with English terms, and I am always concluded with the English person. Or American person, because they are language, but other we are adopted into that. But Buddhism, most of the Vipassana part, because of my English knowledge. But in Sri Lankan language, Sri Lankan monks, they don't know how to speak openly. They are always covered with the tradition. But in English, it's an open language. You can talk, and he's junior or senior, it doesn't matter. We can keep our distance, we can agree to disagree. We are doing daily. No misunderstanding. Because there's no understanding each other. We are not going to understand. I beg your pardon, sir. Okay. Good for...
Take your British rubbish language.
Yeah, it is rubbish.
Yeah, I know it is. It's a completely rubbish language.
So Bhikkhu Bodhi has taken English. Sorry. Okay. Sukhi hontu.